subject pronouns that connect to the ends of past tense verbs only. تو، ت، تی، تم، تما، تن. Again, تو، ت، تی، تم، تما، تن. P for plural, S for singular, in the black color here. Na, na, means we, when used as a subject-doer pronoun. This one can be an object or a possessive pronoun, this na here. So these, they're only used with past tense verbs as a subject pronoun. It's called the moving doer ta, or subject doer ta in Arabic. They're highlighted in turquoise here. Subject pronouns are in turquoise in here, and object pronouns are in green. Possessive pronouns are in orange, and these connect to nouns. For the object pronoun him, the pronoun would look like this, who or he, and it connects to the end of the verb. For the object pronoun her, it would look like this, ha, ha, and it will connect to the end of the verb. So, huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna. Anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. Ana, nahnu. Now these are separate pronouns, and when you start with them, they are the subject of a sentence, the mubtada, what you start with. For these, the third person pronouns that start with the ha, they connect as is to the end of the verb, and they become the object of that verb. The only ones that change shape are the ones that we just discussed, he and she. Now for the pronunciation of the second person object pronouns, ka, kuma, kum, ki, kuma, kunna. For the first person object pronoun, me, use ni. We will talk about the n in a second, but it's this is how you will see it at the end of a verb, ni. For me. Now with this na here, with a past tense verb, if there is a short vowel on the letter before it, it's an object. If there is no short vowel on the letter before it, it's a subject. For today's grammar example, we will look at the object pronouns only, so concentrate on these in the green color. When you have two pronouns connected to the end of a verb, the first is the subject and the second is the object. فعل, a verb. فاعل, a subject, doer. مفعول به, an object. What was acted upon. Changing case marks are in red. علامات الإعراب المتغيرة بالأحمر. علم المعلم التلميذ. The teacher taught the pupil. Object pronouns, they are connected pronouns at the end of verbs. Object pronouns. So all these pronouns here are objects. So if I want to say علم المعلم التلميذ with pronouns, I would say علمه. علمه. علم is the verb, he taught. المعلم is implied. The teacher is implied. The pronoun for it is implied but not pronounced. Third person singular subject doer pronouns, he or she, are implied with past or present tense verbs and are understood to be after the verb. So, for the third person singular he or she, feminine or masculine, with the verb it's implied and it's understood to be after the verb. So, in between here you assume there is a pronoun for the he or she. Who is the object? So it refers to a tilmid. So if the person you are talking to knows what you are talking about, this statement was made before, then you can start using this sentence. It's a full sentence. Verb, subject and object. So you say علمه. You will see it written like this in the white color here. That's how you would see it written, and that's how you would write it. Here I broke it down to mark the pronouns. So علمه, he taught him. علمهما, he taught both of them, feminine or masculine. علمهم, he taught them, masculine. علمها, he taught her. علمهن, he taught them, feminine. علمني, that's he taught me, feminine or masculine. So a man or a woman, he would say he taught me. علمني, علمني. Now this an here is not part of the pronoun. It's used after the verb to prevent it from taking this E sound, the short vowel E, which makes pronouncing this E, the pronoun E, easier. So to prevent doing that to the end of the verb, they add this N. They call it prevention N. And it's used with this E vowel, me. E, me. علمني, he taught me. علمك, he taught you. You, singular masculine. So علمك. علمك, you, he taught you, singular feminine. علمكما, he taught both of you, feminine or masculine. كما. علمكما, he taught both of you. علمكم, he taught you, masculine plural. The here is for plural masculine. علمكم. علمكن, he taught you, feminine plural. This N here is for to indicate the feminine plural. So علمكن. علمنا, he taught us, feminine or masculine. علمنا. Now here notice this there. If I lose this short vowel here and it becomes with no movement, then this becomes the subject. So instead of علمنا, which means he taught us, it becomes علمنا. علمنا. We taught. So that's the big difference with this short vowel. Whether it's there or not, it changes the meaning of this pronoun. So the past tense verb always end with this a if the letter is a consonant. When you attach a subject pronoun, it loses it, becomes silent with some pronouns like this na here. So and this will become the subject. So now here this na is an object. The green color here is an object. So علمنا, he taught us. We will see an example of this later, inshallah. Now, إياه here, if you add إيا here before any one of these pronouns, هم, ها, هما, or this ya by itself here, إياي. So you say إياه, إياهما, إياهم, إياها, إياهن, إياي, إياك, إياكي, إياكما, إياكم, إياكن, إيانا. If you add this إيا, it becomes a separate pronoun. So, if I want to say علم المعلم التلميذ الدرس, the teacher taught the pupil the lesson. The lesson is masculine, so I can say علمه إياه. If the person I'm talking to knows what we are talking about, we already have a statement, or we know what the sentence is about, I can say علمه إياه. He taught him it. Of course, in Arabic, the it should refer, if it's a masculine, it will be hu. If it's a feminine, it's a ha, إياها. So if I want to say علم المعلم التلميذ قصة, قصة is a story, feminine. So I can say علمه إياها, إياها. He taught him it. So you add إيا here before any one of these, then you place it after this sentence, it becomes the second object. So علمه إياها, he taught him it, or علمه إياه, he taught him it. And same goes here. So depending on what you are talking about. Now this here, just make sure when it's separate you add this إيا here.